I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to Forensic Gameology, hosted by ForensicGameology.com.
News for science.
In some nebulous amount of time, or less.
Or less. All right, we did it. So much better than Ethan and Emily. So Mark is our second...
Well, you, stared at him. We didn't stare at him.
I gave you the cue.
Yeah.
And we've done this before. Mark and I just filmed 2 playthroughs. Tash-kalar and Quantum, which Molly also was in Quantum. Tash-kalar is a 2-player, so we played that, and then Molly jumped in for Quantum. So you are a pro at our taglines, as you'll see at the end of Tash-kalar. Watch all the way through.
Not hardly.
So, anyway, Mark isn't our second guest, because I guess that would be if Ethan and Emily tied for first.
Second instance.
Second instance of a person other than us two coming on to our show for news.
You're welcome.
But you're the first... You're the first non-us for playthroughs.
Oh, okay.
I think, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
There we go. That's something.
Because we've always talked about filming our game group, but we just never did it.
Yeah, and I kind of regret that, because we had some moments. We had some real moments.
We've had some beautiful.
But maybe the new game group
People
will
need
start
to see it. The people need to see it.
They have to know. The world needs to know. All right. Mark, I've often asked you and then referenced the answer, but for the audience's sake, what are your favorite types of games?
I stole the line from Ignacy Trzewiczek at Portal Games, but games that tell stories.
Do you like Portal Games then a ton because those are the games that tell stories?
I do like most of their games, yes.
So Robinson Crusoe tells a game that tells a story, and their new one you're hoping tells a story.
First Martians.
First Martians.
Yeah.
And that's not out yet, but you did back it, or you pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered it.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
But you already... and I...
Mysterium? Okay.
That's true. Mysterium.
That's Portal. That's true.
Uh-huh.
You and I played Neuroshima Convoy once.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. I never played Neuroshima Hex, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I haven't played that either.
It looks cool, and it's old, so it stood the test of time for people to still be talking about it, but I don't know. I had a bunch of thoughts, and I wrote them down, because I knew I'd forget. So, one thing, so I knew you were going to say games that tell a story, but also, this is my spin on what you like the most. You can tell the audience if this is to be confirmed. You love spy games.
That is true.
You love spy games.
I do. That's
Whether
true.
it's deduction or just spy themes, where you're doing sneaky things.
Yes, I do like all those things.
We played Covert. We didn't get to finish it though.
Right. Yes.
What other spy stuff?
Redacted. We've played.
Redacted. That was when we first played a game together ever.
That was like
we met at a convention. It was a little bit like our convention. It was the convention that we copied to make our convention happen. And so we said, let's play Redacted. And I won with Sarah, your wife.
That's right. Yes, you did.
Against you and Ree. We didn't know we were on a team for practically the whole game, though.
That's part of the game, yeah.
Yeah. And in the end, I think we were American.
It's Americans versus Russians.
Yeah.
Well, the British are in there, too.
You
just didn't play British?
Well, we didn't have enough people.
To 6 people?
So anyway, spies and games that tell stories. So if that helps influence your worldview of what Mark says today. What are my favorite what?
Types of games. Mine are co-ops. I think you could easily say co-ops, but I appreciate other types as well.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's by mechanic for me. It could be deck builders. I like a lot of deck builders.
Yeah, but I don't think that's your favorite.
Maybe not, but I mean, a lot of the games I enjoy are deck builders.
Quick play games? Is that a type of game?
Maybe. I really like, weirdly, a lot of abstracts.
You do but you don't like some.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Tom Vassell always says he's an omni-gamer. Sounds a little weird to say omni-gamer, but
omni-gamer means you enjoy all types of games.
I like light Ameritrash. That's what it is. I like light Ameritrash. I don't like heavy Ameritrash. I've never played Axis and Allies, and you tried to get me to play a couple conventions ago, and I was like, so I only have one long game in me, and we used it on the beer game.
Bootleggers?
Bootleggers. And that was the best.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Dwayne?
Yeah.
It was, man, Dwayne you're going to send the link to Dwayne?
Sure.
Good, because he needs to know that guy is so funny. He is the best. He needs to come, he did come to our convention last year. Probably because of you.
Could be.
So light Ameritrash? What about light Euro?
Yeah, I can do light Euro. I prefer thematic.
Light games.
So also, can we just bring something up?
No.
Have you guys seen Amerithrash instead of
What?
Ameritrash?
I have heard people use it.
But what
I've
is
seen
that?
it on a shirt. It's the same thing except they don't like the word trash. And so they say thrash
Oh.
instead. And I think that's worse than trash. I do.
Like you're thrashing it about, or
No, it's supposed to be like thrasher, like a cool like biker gang feel, I think, or something.
Oh,
Do you get that? No, what do you get out of that? Like it's about fighting or something?
Yeah, I took it to mean, that just there's usually some sort of player against player sort of combat or
This
competition.
comes up on Reddit all the time, where people talk about
people
like.
are really like
Where they argue
offended.
over the word.
Mhm.
they're offended.
Well,
by
some people want to
Ameritrash.
say Euro snob or Euro trash for Euros, and Amerithrash or thematic. And for me, I just say Ameritrash. I feel like it's been used enough that people get it. Not people entering the hobby, so I get that it may not be super inclusive, but I got it quickly enough when I started.
You definitely pick up Euro quick.
Yeah.
Like you play one and you think this is Euro, and then you know all Euro. You don't know how to play them, or like you don't appreciate. I'm not a massive Euro player, but I mean to say like when you play one Euro, after if someone says Euro, you be like, oh yeah, I know the type of game. Like resource denial is the biggest attacking.
So cooperative for you.
Amerithrash.
Games that tell a story for me. Light Ameritrash for me. I could go light Euro as well. 'Cause, like, is Ticket to Ride light Euro? Is it light Ameritrash? It's light, and that's what I like. That's what I like. I like light, quick, easy. I like games where the rule book is like a page, front and back. I love that. I mean, granted, not all those games are good.
Party games.
Right, so I say not all games I like, not that have that are good, but a lot of games I like have short rule books. And I mean, granted, my favorite game of all time right now, as the filming this video, is Chaos in the Old World, and it's an FFG game with like a 30-page rule book of addendums and whatnot. So like, it's not 100%, but I do gravitate toward those games more. Like I haven't played Chaos in a couple of years.
Yeah, but it also is it not concise, or is it?
What are you talking about, Chaos?
Yeah.
No, have you ever read an FFG rule book?
All right, never mind. I'll say that
You haven't?
if a lot of things.
We've played Rebellion, and that's an FFG
Oh, that's
game,
right.
and that has 2 different rule books.
Yeah.
Oh, so I would say maybe like because some games that are fiddly and you don't know these things, but if Chaos is like that, so yeah.
Anyway,
It's not a light game.
You are at home on the camera because this is not the first time you've appeared in board game media.
That's true. I was on an episode of Game Boy Geek when he visited.
Is that Dan King?
Yes.
Dan King. I mostly hear him by Game Boy Geek.
He was doing a review of Emerald Tavern, which is a board game cafe here in town, and I happened to be there the night he walked in, and he was just asking random people.
And you're on
their
the
comments.
web already.
Yeah.
So, I
Internet
mean,
famous.
Thank
you for.
Well, that's what I was saying. One of our ulterior motives was getting you on here to get the crowds that follow you
Right.
to now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
like we get an influencer on our show.
Thank
and,
you. Thank you.
Yeah, you might want to rethink that.
Well, it's too late now. Was he just goes to different board game cafes around the world?
That night when he said he just happened to be in Austin, and that was the first board game cafe that opened here in Austin that I'm aware of. And so he decided to stop by since he
There's
was in
only
town.
2 now, right?
Emerald and Vigilante.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to Vigilante.
And Vigilante's more of a bar than a cafe too, so.
Yeah,
So
you've
they're
been
not really the same
inside.
thing.
I've been inside. It looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're just dropping off like stuff for the convention.
The whole idea of eating and playing a board game just kind of grates at my soul. So
You're one of those people.
well, just like you.
Yeah, just like me.
I mean, it wouldn't be my game, so there's that, right? That's how
But
it
that's
works.
worse.
You can bring your own game, or you can play one of theirs.
But now it's on you even more so not to mess up someone else's game, or it will become your game when you have to buy it.
But the menus also
They
thought
took that
about
into
that.
account.
They took that into consideration.
Oh yeah. I mean, we should try it out.
Yeah.
You get like special rooms or something.
I've been. They have 2 special rooms. I've actually been in both of them. They're pretty cool.
One's like a wizard setting.
Yeah,
Like
one of them's like a
One's
wizard.
Hogwarts.
sci-fi.
Yeah, and the other is the. I think it's the Situation Room or something like that. It's kind of like the bunker from Doctor Strangelove. If you've ever seen that movie, it's
I
like
haven't.
A long time ago.
You saw Doctor Strangelove?
Yeah, in high school.
Huh. When I think of
in
people-
one of my history classes.
When I think of people who
That
don't
was in a
watch
history
movies, I
class.
think of you.
Oh well, I mean, back in the day, I watched movies,
Hmm.
but it was in history. It was U.S. history.
I'm not sure what you would have learned from watching.
It could have been. This was an AP, so it could have been after the test. So it was like, this is based in historical fact. Like, it happened during the war, right? And so, you've learned about it. I don't know. I was a teenager. I didn't think. You don't think right as a teenager. You have to think about, if you're asked the question, would you eat a cockroach? You think about it before you just say no. Whereas adults, you're like, no, that's disgusting. Teenager brains are messed up. So, I don't know. True story.
I will do anything now to not think about what Molly just said. So
okay,
I will.
Would you do a light bulb?
I will move on to the fact that Mark is the person who has given me. Who said that whenever Mark told me something, I said that is the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. You remember what it was?
Oh gosh,
I do remember that. I'm not sure why you think it was so nice of me to say that, but
because
I don't know.
if you something a Benedict told me once was if you ask a narcissist if they're a narcissist, 50% of the time they'll say yes, or something like that. Or maybe like if you ask a person if they're a narcissist and they say yes, 50% of the time they're correct. Which it makes it difficult. You have a 50-50 chance on any narcissist. But it's something like whenever people critique Abinadi and I, each of us are always like, well, shucks, that was nice. You had to say that. Like, it's just a thing that's, we're impenetrable. It's a thing of beauty. Point being, Mark, I told Mark one day when I was extolling my virtues, I told him I was very self-righteous. And you said...
I said I thought that the more accurate description was that you're ironically self-righteous.
And from that day forward, I told it to my boss. And I said, I'm ironically self-righteous. I think he appreciated it too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you still work there, right?
Yeah, I still work there. Although, I always tell him, whenever anything in the future is going to happen, like we have a class coming up we have to teach in November, I'm like, if I still work here, I'll be ready to teach that class for you.
Oh my goodness, he threatens all the time. He's been doing it since like day one. He's like, well,
I always threaten to leave. And sometimes I'll say...
his boss.
Sometimes I'll say to him, I'll say, if you still work here in a couple months, he goes, that sounds weirder than if you say if I would try to take his job. I don't want his job. I'd like his paycheck, but not his job. I don't want to do administrative meetings ever again in my life.
I have managing,
All right, well, I've kind of talked a bunch, and I have more to say, but we pulled out some games that we have played lately. If one of you two wants to jump on talking about those.
Just real quickly, I don't know that we've talked about this. Bards dispense humanity.
Profanity.
Profanity, yeah, humanity. It's the opposite.
Have you played this?
No.
Okay, so this game is fun for like 2 to 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And it's apples to apples, but with Shakespeare quotes.
It's Cards Against Humanity, essentially.
Cards Against Humanity, apples to apples, whatever, fill in the blank of that style game. And it is hilarious for a couple rounds. And then some rounds it gets dull. And it could probably pick up again, but we just ended it because we were like,
the law of diminishing returns comes in quickly.
Yeah,
on this game.
But I do want to say it is hilarious, and especially if you do like Shakespeare, it's going to be...
It's all lifted from the works of Shakespeare.
And all of it is Shakespeare. I should probably just have an example.
I say, if you pull it out at random, you may regret it.
Oh, yeah.
You should have prepared this beforehand. Oh, so this one's not Shakespeare. The cards that the judge puts out are just... It says, by the age of 4, male children already display a preference for... And that might be, now we're looking at something gender-based, like that has happened as a society, like maybe the color blue, or Transformers or something, or action movies. And so, they say,
okay.
Now Molly's going to say something from...
you could say Monsieur Love.
From Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing. A deploring dump. 2 blushing pilgrims. Some of them funnier than others. I just really like that it comes from Shakespeare, and it's hilarious. Whereas these lines in the Shakespeare play are probably not hilarious nor used in this way. And so they definitely take it out of context. So if you like Shakespeare, you'll like this. But again, we only played a couple rounds because we were like, diminishing returns like Tom said. But I just want to bring that up. That's all I had about that.
Glory to Rome.
Yeah, Glory to Rome. We should talk about Glory to Rome.
Oh,
well, this is your first time playing it.
Yeah, I played it for the first time about a week and a half ago. I thought it was really a lot of fun. I don't always say that about Carl Chuddick games.
Which ones did you say? Oh, wait, I know what you're talking about. Innovation?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't understand when people don't like innovation. It's incomprehensible to me.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just I don't know it well enough to do well yet.
Well, it is way more... That one is way more random than this one.
Really?
Yes. And this one's pretty random, but like, you've got a thing going, and you can at least try to do it, whereas in that one, you got a thing going and it gets destroyed.
Amelia
and then you
wrecked
try
my
it again.
whole game plan with one card when we were playing Glory to Rome this last time. I came in last place by 1,000 because she played a single card.
Yeah, but that happened like late. I don't know. Maybe you're right, but I feel like the win conditions in Innovation are so random, or can be so random. Whereas here, the end condition happens and whoever has the most points. So I don't know. I feel.
I mean, in all honesty, it may just be because I've never won Innovation, and I did manage to actually win this game.
But you'd heard about it a lot.
I had heard about it before.
From Jamie on the Secret
Cabal. It's one of his favorite games. He talks about it a lot, and so I was glad to get to try it and see what it was all about. So,
but he had never really said kind of what goes on in it, just that it was his favorite, or one of his favorites. Yeah. And so, was there any surprise at all? Were you thinking?
I wasn't sure what to expect, and then you pointed out to me just before we started, hey, this is a Carl Chudik game, just like Innovation, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have asked for this.
Have you played, what's the other one we have with the ships?
Impulse.
Have you played Impulse?
I don't think so.
I don't like that one, but I probably like it. Well, I mean, I think we've only played, is Red 7 a Carl Chudik game?
I'm not sure.
If Red 7 isn't, then of the 3 I've played, Impulse is my least favorite, but that's like saying, I don't know, something really awesome is my least favorite. They're all pretty good. But
they all are, of those 3 at least, they're all incredibly challenging to wrap your mind around. Definitely the first game, because everything does so many things is the problem. Not the problem, but the thing. Like, the cards in here are everything. They're the currency, they're the buildings, they're the actions you take, they're doubling the actions, they're your points, everything. And so, same thing with Impulse. And Innovation, same thing, but there's just so many things. There's just so much going on. It's hard to wrap your mind around. So I'm impressed that you like it after your first play. Mm-hmm. I think we enjoyed it after first play, but the thing is,
we played it wrong for the first 10 times.
Right, we played it wrong, and we were all learning it. So we didn't play it with people who knew it. We were all new, so that kind of helps, maybe. Early
on, that hurt when we played Race for the Galaxy, where 4 people were playing for the first time. Yeah, we watched a 45-minute video, like 3 15-minute videos.
I thought it was like 3 30-minute videos, but it was something.
It was something out of control to learn how to play it. Then we all played it wrong for a lot, and then we finally got it together, and then we don't play as much as we should.
No, because introducing it to people, they just get overwhelmed.
Same thing with Glory to Rome.
Same Glory to Rome. Innovation maybe is the easier of them all, but yeah.
Well, I won by 1. I mean, I came in second place. A smash-up tournament. What are you looking at me?
Oh, I was like, I didn't know what you were saying. You won, and then you.
Well, the last time we did news, we talked about Board Game Bash, which Mark and I went to. Molly's going to Board Game Geek Con. We went to Board Game Bash, and you're going to Board Game Geek Con too.
Yes, I am.
And you went on the cruise.
I did that too.
You're a man of many conventions.
It's been the year for me.
Yeah. So, I went to the convention, and the only thing I signed up for was the Smash Up tournament. And I feel like sometimes I regret that when I want to sign up for more things because you are guaranteed more games. But the tournament it was a little weird because a lot of people joined that didn't really know how to play Smash Up, and that's not the place to learn. Like, we're all there playing really quickly, and then someone's like, okay, what can I do? And we're like, we're not here to teach or help you. We will, because we're all nice people, but you're killing us right now. We're all dying inside. But we did. I only didn't finish 1 game. We finished 2 games in time. There's a hard time limit, and the one where people were the people who didn't know how to play the most. It just took too long and we didn't finish. But I ended up winning that game first place because I had the most points at the end of it, which secured a second place finish for me, and it got me the All-Star Pack, which I haven't opened because I need to. Whenever we played Smash Up last, we played with someone who hadn't played before. So in teaching, I was like, I'm going to pull out my All-Star Pack and start just killing you. So we went with it was Derek. We went with the base set.
It has one of every, or not one of everything, but
they
every
pull
card
from all of the factions.
And is it just is it a copy of those cards?
I think it's a copy.
Wow, so
I could be wrong, but I think it's a copy.
Wow, that's fascinating.
I need to open it and find out. But I'm excited.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Super dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, we just played Quantum, and dangerous is a card in there. And we didn't get to see it.
No.
I don't remember exactly what it does. It's the one where if someone attacks you, you can just force both of you to die.
That sounds right.
Yeah. This time around, what?
I just got what you were saying. I was thinking about the box. I was thinking about other things, and I was like, wow, you like bomber suicide, whatever. Because you just make yourself die.
Yeah. But
And
it's
I was
not
trying to
your
think
fault. It's if people attack you. It's like, don't
I
attack
see,
me,
okay.
man.
Okay,
And-
I see.
Right.
And
That's
nobody
what it
gets
is. So
dominance out of it.
It's not
Yeah.
when you attack.
It'd have been a very different game
Okay,
if I had
so it's
picked up
not-
Dangerous in this game we just recently played. Because the dominance would have been going out for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have sat there racking up dominance for myself with my cool combinations. This is a great game. Well, we said
No argument there.
on the end of it, this is one of your favorites.
It is, definitely.
Top 5. Eric Zimmerman. He did us a solid when he made this
Spoiler
game.
alert, my rolls, they could have been better.
Yeah, that was tough.
So when you first roll, you rolled and I got 1-1-6. And I thought, 1s, they're so good for combat, but to start off, you're not next to anyone. So I rolled again, 1-1-2. And that's how it went for me the first few turns.
Is it worth it? So, like, for instance, we had some pretty high rolls where we could start putting down quantum cubes on 9s and 8s and whatnot. Is it worth it? Because you started just hammering at each of us in as much as you could.
Yeah.
Is it worth it just from the outset to say, you know what, this isn't going to work. I'm just going to fight the whole game. I'm just going to try to get dominance all the way through. That's a lot of dominance. We only had one person put out a cube for dominance.
Right.
Right, so but the challenge is, right, you want low numbers to win combats or to win battles, but you want big numbers to make it, because to reach people, to move enough,
Yeah,
right? Because
the movement is the...
Right, because your dice are your ships, and so it's hard, because when I had that low roll, that's great for combat, but I wasn't near anyone.
Right.
So I've got to get near people, and that takes turns, so by the time I was able to get near people, y'all had 2 cubes on the board. So I don't know.
I want to try it, but you'd have to gear up with those cards. With, like, the tactics cards or whatever.
How do you
Well,
get
how
those
do you get the
cards?
cards?
Put cubes down.
Research.
I guess.
Or maybe an early cube or something.
That's a lot of turns to research.
Not if you're brilliant, like this guy.
I mean, if you could get a forward base, like in the middle of the board,
That would help a lot.
that would help a lot.
And you could, because you and I jumped to our sides, which I think hurt. Because
Well, we were trying to stay away from Molly's
That's true.
battle stations.
Well, and because I could get an
Right.
immediate cube out. Get an immediate cube out.
That's right, I had
But
low
if we'd gone to
numbers,
the middle and gotten that base, that would have helped a lot. Because then you can just jut out to whatever side no one's on at the time.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's a fun game. No.
Oh no, we can hear our baby crying. This may have to be our wrap-up game that we talk about. Between Two Cities Capitals, we actually recently reviewed this, but it hasn't come out yet. It is coming out. It is on its way, hopefully within the next week. But how do you feel about adding the expansion?
Oh, I liked the stuff that were added in the expansion. The boards that with the sort of terrain that you build around. I thought that was nice. The little extra miniatures and all that. Yeah.
Which we didn't actually mention in the
Review
that they come with like 7 or 6 new
Cities.
looks like city monuments.
Yeah.
How many times have you played Between Two Cities? Like often enough?
No,
Really?
I mean, I think I've played it with you guys twice, and I've played it twice before that.
Because people who aren't as familiar with it as we are didn't struggle with the expansion, but they were like, "Oh, I like the base because it's simpler." And I don't know. Tom and I, you said in the review, we appreciated it because we had played it quite a bit, and so that's cool that.
I like chasing those district bonuses.
That just creates such a crazy.
A 9-point swing for points that you're already getting for putting down good. I love it. And a lot of people, I think, you know what? Maybe I'm just a bad teacher. Because we've played it several times where people at the end, when I'm counting the score, they go, "Oh, that's what those do." And I'm like, I was doing that with you this whole game. We're trying to make this together.
But that's what I mean, like, because when we were teaching this, we had maybe just taught them, and they played Between Two Cities once. So then you're teaching them this, and so holding on to the fact that they just have to be touching or whatever is what a lot of them were missing. So it's maybe not rules explanation on your part as much as
Could be
familiarity.
All I know is I super like it, and I would be happy to play either way. If somebody said they want to play base set only or expansion added in, I'm fine. It's cool.
Because it about doubles the time, which it says here, right? It says 20 minutes on this box, and then I think it's 35.
35 minutes here.
Which is about accurate. Yeah.
All right. Did anything else happen that we need to bring up in our lives?
Game for the Cause is coming up. Our Indiegogo ended.
And it funded at 2,800 out of 3,000. So, which is, it's not a successful funding, but it's fine because we can just take the 200. We'll make up the difference. So, whew.
We just need people to come. So if you're in Austin, or if you're not, you can plan to be.
Have you come every year?
I don't think I was there the first year you guys ran it.
I can't remember. I remember the second year. If it was the second year, your first year, you won like everything. We drew your name for all of the.
I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
But never repeated after that.
I made a killing in that.
Well, because we stopped doing raffles. So
somewhat. We did the play to win raffle,
but we don't do like just random raffles, which we used to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I think we have going on.
All right, we've presented the evidence.
You be the judge?
Ha! We did it together.